What's up, YeshGamers? Robert the Bruce here, and this is the first video in a series I'm calling Battlefield 1 Prep. Yes, it's Battlefield 4 being played, because at the time of this video, we're still a few months away from Battlefield 1 being released. Here's the good news though, the principles I'll be talking about apply to just about any first-person shooter, so they'll help you now with Battlefield 4, and in the future with Battlefield 1. They'll also help you with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I wanted to hold the joke longer, but I just can't. Nobody's buying that garbage. Anyway, let's get started. So, I'm sure you've realized by now I'm playing a game mode that's really not played much at all, Gunmaster. Ugh. I know, it was sort of fun in BF3 when it was first introduced, and quickly faded away. But, hear me out. There are some very valuable skills to be learned from Gunmaster. The ability to use different weapons, at least sort of effectively, is right up there at the top. But RTB, why does this matter? Well, I'm glad you asked. First, in case somehow you've never played it, here's the super quick Gunmaster breakdown. Everyone starts with the same weapon, you get a couple kills with that weapon, and it auto-switches you to a new one. This continues through all sorts of different guns until finally you have a knife. Whoever gets all the way to the knife and gets a kill first wins. Pretty simple, right? Well, the reason this is beneficial to our training is that we're being forced to use different guns, and it can be hard to make ourselves do that in normal games. Let's say you're a bad sniper, but you want to get better. So you equip a sniper rifle, get all excited, hop in a game of Conquest, and then you do terrible. You get hardly any kills, you lose your tags a couple of times, and after 2 or 3 rounds, you get super frustrated and quit. Well, in Gunmaster, you're going to be forced to use a sniper rifle, but you only have to get a couple kills with it and then you move on. It's not as stressful. It doesn't feel like training because you're just looking forward to getting to the next gun. But every round you play adds a little more experience with weapons you wouldn't normally use. Now there's obvious immediate benefits to this for Battlefield 4, but what about Battlefield 1? Well, it boils down to this. If you always use the same 1 or 2 guns, then you'll really struggle when you're forced into something new. Gunmaster forces you into something new every couple of kills. It helps train you to quickly identify each weapon's strengths and weaknesses. You start learning to adapt your playstyle in small ways. If you're a run-and-gun hipfire kind of guy, and you get an LMG that doesn't do that well, you'll have to adjust what you're doing if you want to be successful. And we're all used to modern shooters right now. Getting tossed back into World War I style combat is going to be an adjustment. Conditioning our gaming styles now to be able to adjust quickly to new situations later, it's going to go a long way in helping us hit the ground running when Battlefield 1 drops. Plus, like I said earlier, it's just a good fundamental FPS skill to have, so boosting your basic ability to adapt to new weapons in new ways will help you in almost every shooter you play. So, even if you're like me and you're not that thrilled to be playing Gunmaster, give it a round or 2 here and there just for your own benefit. Instead of having a Gunmaster marathon night, I like to just hop into a round or 2 at the beginning of my gaming sessions. Helps me get conditioned for various weapons, but it doesn't take up my whole evening of fun, because I'll switch to other stuff after 1 or 2 rounds. Lastly, here's a couple Gunmaster tips to help ease your frustration if you're struggling with that particular game mode. First, and after everything I just said, this seems obvious, but I'll say it anyway. Adjust how you're playing based on the weapons you have. If you get a fast-firing submachine gun, get in the thick of the action and blast away. If you're on a sniper rifle or LMG with lots of kick, well, slow down a bit. Look for a decent vantage point. It really will help your success rate if you approach each enemy encounter differently based on your current weapon. Also, don't stress out too much about getting a perfect headshot with sniper rifles if you're not a good sniper. This will be tough for you, but just go for upper body shots. In Gunmaster, if you heavily wound someone and one of your teammates finishes the kill, you'll get that little pop-up you get in the normal game that says the assist counts as kill, because you did so much damage. Well, it does count as a kill for that weapon, so you can get through the sniper rifles or pistols or whatever you're struggling with just by inflicting high damage on a bad guy and having a teammate finish him off. Now, to ensure that this works, try to engage enemies close to where you see your teammates on the minimap. Lastly, put on your big boy pants, chug an energy drink, listen to some symphonic metal. I don't care what you do. Just do whatever it takes not to camp. The temptation will be there to think, wow, I'm terrible with this gun. I'll just sit in this corner till someone comes around. But please don't do that. For one, it's just super lame, but also you'll likely waste tons of time just waiting. And Gunmaster is a race against the clock. Plus, you'll feel extra foolish if a guy rounds the corner with a shotty, blasts your face off, and it was all for nothing. So, for the sake of the human race, don't camp. That's it for this episode of Battlefield 1 Prep. I'll have more videos coming out soon in this series to help give us all a little sense of purpose in our Battlefield 4 gaming while we wait for BF1 to get here. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.